Hey everybody, my name is Joe, and I find myself in need of a small shunting engine such as this one for my new LEGO rail yard. And this is going to fit the bill pretty perfectly, I'm pretty sure. So in this Rebrickable review, we're going to go over some of the building techniques as well as any sticking points during the build of such. So with that in mind, go ahead and hit that subscribe button while we go through a speed build of this particular engine real quick. Now, right off the bat, this particular engine actually only has 5 batteries in it, and it zips right around the track on here. So I was really surprised at how quickly it moves. I know it's really small, and so that's going to make it really light to be able to move around really easily. And I said 5 batteries because I put a dummy battery inside one of the spots in the battery pack in here. This is a powered up build, and I do that so I can kind of control some of that upper speed that you get. Now when it's connected to a variety of cars, that does slow down. The load does make it so it doesn't kind of run away on the tracks. So I'm going to bring this down to 4 batteries, I think, for my normal operation, but it works really, really well for being able to zip around this little yard that I have. Now, as far as the build goes that you saw, there was a couple spots where I did have to jump back and forth between the previous page and the page I was working on to be able to see what it was that I needed to put into a particular spot. Like one of the 1x2 bricks was kind of hidden underneath, and I couldn't quite figure out where that was until I jumped back and forth like 20 times to be able to see where it slid down into. There was a spot I didn't have the right piece for the top right here, and so I have like this little steering wheel type piece. Kind of the same thing up here, where I've got a little bit different of a build than what you'll see on Rebrickable. Oh, and my apologies. It is officially the mini cargo train in black by Basti 2. That's BASTI and the number 2. So it's a free instructions on Rebrickable, and this is great. They took the blue train from the official set and they basically shortened it, utilizing a lot of the parts from that set. And one of the reasons that I needed such a small train was because the cars that I'm going to be pulling around are 14 studs long, and that is a requirement that I have the cars be the same in length as the engine. And for my shunting work that I'm going to be doing on this yard, I needed to make sure that they were all the same length, and I didn't need to have a massive yard to complete some of my shunting work. Now, some of you that might have been around some model train work or just different train things over the years might know what I'm talking about. But if you're not familiar with what some of this shunting might be, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now so that you can see on an upcoming video what I'm talking about here. Something I'm looking forward to messing with and being able to have some activities on my rail line at different shows. So yes, it's great to be sitting there talking with everyone and talking with the public, interacting about different train stuff that's going on. But this will allow me to have a little bit of an activity to do while I'm at a show if there's a lull in the public there or I feel like having a little bit of a brain teaser. So this is going to work out great. The color scheme, of course, can be updated to whatever you want. I stuck with the black and yellow that the designer chose. They do have the IO file for Studio on Rebrickable, so you can totally download that, change it up, and whatever color scheme that you like. Personally, this one's working out great. I didn't have the dark gray or dark bluish gray of these pieces around the side like they have in their instructions, and I think it looks just fine. So this is going to be perfect. And besides that, you could put a little minifig. I think that's probably what I'll do because the door opens up here. I think I'll slide a minifig in here to stand up, and then that way you've got an engineer in there to be able to make it a little bit more realistic, even though I don't know if realistic really counts in this scenario just because it's so small and this cute little engine. So with the amount of weight that it has in it, I think I'm going to do a little test where I pull some cars, some full-size cars from another set and see how well it can kind of move them around in the yard here. I don't have a full length over here right now. I'll probably be able to bring over one base plate additional for some working room, but that's going to be about it. So without further ado,